Morning, everyone. Well, yesterday was a busy one. Simon and I had something of an impromptu meeting over at Find Your Adventure, and we came up with an idea that we think is going to be so much better for our little community of adventure folk. It will take time to develop, and other people will need to be involved, but we think it's going to be extremely helpful to not only the adventurous among you, but also to those involved in the outdoors and the adventure industry. So I totally think that we are inside each other's minds sometimes, Simon and I. Now, he said I probably shouldn't mention that, so well, you know me. Oh yeah, had a bit of a trim, got rid of all the loose fluffy bits, and Linda says she likes it. It's a bit uneven actually, I'm just looking at that. And yeah, the barnet's gone as well. There we go. New me. Not really, just a haircut. Anyway, this is supposed to be a very brief post, but actually when I was writing it I went off on one, so it's not going to be brief at all. It's going to be another one of those long ones. But I've got a ton of stuff to do, so I'll try and keep it as brief as I can. I'm just going to move this over because the notifications are getting in the way. So excuse me if you're listening to this. I just need to move that over. There we go. Right. So it's not brief in any way. Tony Wood had his podcast appearance. What time is it? We're like 2 minutes in. I've yawned twice. Tony Wood had his podcast appearance broadcast for the first time yesterday, and I shared it on my timeline, so have a delve into the depths and find it. It's definitely not one for the kids, as it's a bit sweary, but I found it super interesting. Now, I know it's probably because I know him and I've been involved in what's happened and all the rest of it, but I think you'll really enjoy it, even if you're not a skateboarder, because it's quite interesting. Quite an insight as to, well, just I find people... Ow, goodness me. I find people interesting, so here we are. Make sure you subscribe to Matt's podcast. Matt Lloyd. He's a poet and spoken word artist. He's an incredibly interesting guy, really good at interviewing people, and you'll find that when you listen to Tony's podcast. It's called Skateboarder And. So whatever podcast app you're on, look for Skateboarder and you should find it on there. Anyway, look, I'm super stoked for Tony. The world definitely needs more Tonys, that's for sure. And I had a bit of a quandary about how to spell Tonys. I put T-O-N-Y-S, and then I thought, should that be T-O-N-I-E-S? There's one for you. I think it probably should be T-O-N-Y-S. Anyway, Ashley seems to be living on a diet of pancakes and frankfurters at the moment. The fussy eater phase has well and truly kicked in for my two little triggers. Ah, dear. Anyone else right there at the moment? We certainly are. We were late having lunch yesterday, mainly because I was engrossed in what I was doing, as were the kids. And I looked up at the clock at about 2:30 p.m. and said, "Oh, crikey, we haven't had lunch yet." To which Ashley replied, "Dad, it's probably half past lunch already." And I did have to chuckle at that. It was quite fun. I've been having a lot of conversations with folk about judgment lately, and particularly about how people are worried about other people's judgment, and it's stopping them from doing the things that they really, really want to do. And I can relate to this because I did it for a long while, and I can tell you now, when you get over it, it is quite remarkable. But it's a two-way thing. So I drifted off into this when I was writing the post. I'll go through it, but you'll get the gist. I just want to share my thinking on it because I think it might be helpful. But my thinking has been highly influenced by a lot of the listening I've done over the past couple of years to people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Marie Forleo, who I've mentioned repeatedly on this podcast. But it boils down to this. So often you stop yourself from doing things because of the way that you think you will be perceived. Now, this is fine if it means it prevents you from doing something inherently unkind, illegal or hateful. But what if it isn't? What if you are being prevented from doing the things that you really want and you really know are right for you, but you're not doing it because you're allowing someone else's judgment to stop you from doing it? What if you need to be doing this thing for your own good and for the good of other people? Just because you fear what someone else might think, you stop doing it. Is that you? Are you doing that now? What good could it be doing you? Imagine for a while what would happen if you just did it. You just went for it and did it. Now, I know that might mean that you have to have a tough conversation with someone that you love. Trust me, I really know. But just imagine it. You could do so much good for yourself and for others if you just let go of other people's judgment. And this flips really well too, because I bet you judge other people too, right? I know I do, and I try to stop myself, but it's an inherent trait which I think most of us possess. These days, I really and consciously try to stop judging other people. I still do it, of course, but I'm much more aware, much more conscious when I'm doing it. And I've got the ability then to stop myself from doing it. Now, I don't know if you can hear the sound effects in the background, but that's Ashley playing Hungry Shark because he's done his schoolwork already this morning.
It was very short schoolwork.
It was very short schoolwork, but he's done it this morning, so I'm very proud of him.
Thank you.
It's all right, you're welcome. So being more conscious about sort of the way that you're judging other people and why you're judging them is kind of the first step. Just being aware of it. So here's where it kind of goes. Spending time judging other people can only stop you from doing you. You can only use your energy up on worrying about what other people are doing and putting your opinion on them. Now, unless you're a judge, it ain't doing you any good, judging other people. Now, this is a highly complex situation, I realise that, but simplifying it, it all boils down to, and I use this example, consider spending the time and energy on your own life and doing the things that you love. This example is that I have literally spent entire evenings at the keyboard trying to win arguments based on my own opinions about politics or some current affair or rewilding, a whole host of different subjects. And even after all of that energy was spent, it made no difference or little difference to me or the other person that I was debating with. I also had no idea about what experiences or knowledge that they have that might have brought them to their opinions. Instead, I could have been spending that time doing my thing, whatever that thing might be, or I could have spent the time helping a friend do something that they always wanted to do. What a choice. I chose to argue with someone I probably didn't know, really don't care about because I don't know them. Okay, that's probably not true because I kind of care about most people, but why? Why do we do it? I mean, I know this will probably be true for lots of you, especially if you spend a lot of time online, and also you'll find yourself. Who's that? Oh, hello, Mummy.
Mumsy!
You right? I'm just filming and recording my daily post. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I won't be long.
Mummy, I want a hug.
I won't be long. Where are we? Right, let me start that again. So, where were we? Yeah, so it would make little or no difference to me or the person I'm debating with. I could have spent that time helping a friend, couldn't I? Right? What a choice. So the next time you feel you might be judged by someone, rather than let it paralyse your progress, firstly realise that they don't know your story, not even if they're the closest person to you. They don't understand your thoughts, and they only have what they believe is best for you in their thoughts. But it's not what you know is best for you. They are doing it with love, but they can't be doing it with your dreams and passions in mind. It's just not possible. And that's not necessarily, in my opinion, a very good thing. There's no need to prevent yourself from doing it. If your intentions are good and you thought it through, just do it. Okay, so you might want to have that conversation with the person closest to you to explain why you have to do what you're going to do. But go ahead and do it. Don't let someone else's judgment stop you from doing what you really want to do. Go ahead and do it. Have a belter of a day, and have a day that's free of judgment by you of others and by others of you.